the weather on Saturday when I was supposed to go live. I feel much better, so I thought to go on live before I see the rest of my clients for the rest of the day, because I have some bookings. The reason that I came on here is because there's something that's been weighing on my mind for a while now, and it's in relation to my work as a counselor and as a therapist. And it's a tricky topic for many people, because many people feel judged when they talk about situations that other people don't really relate with. I know that I have worked with many people who, because of my position and because of knowing that I am not going to judge them, they have been open and let me know about situations in their lives that some would call near-death experiences, some would call supernatural. I don't know. Are you familiar with any of these circumstances? Has anything supernatural or near-death kind of experience ever happened to you? If so, share in the comment section so that I will be able to know more about your situation, and of course I will reply to the comments. So personally, I wouldn't call it supernatural. Maybe it is, I don't know. But in my case, it's a story about my travels as a traveling therapist. So in most of my journeys are by flight. However, in this case, I needed to drive to my destination. And for those who are familiar with Manitoba, Manitoba winters can be very, very brutal. Sometimes the weather is so bad that schools are closed. People don't go to work because of snow days. And so you can only imagine how bad the highways are during snowstorms. And so some people would rather not travel during the winter. And so because of my work, it was not really in the dead of winter. It was really spring in Winnipeg, where I live. And so the snow was thawing, it was clearing, you could smell spring in the air, the days were longer. It was a pleasant time. And so I needed to go up north, which is further away from where I live. My destination was to be close to maybe 12 hours drive, but I was going to stop at a major town called Thompson, which is close to 7 to 8 hours drive from home. And so I was going to use my personal car, which is not a four-wheel drive. And so for those who know that the highways during the melt or during winter, four-wheel drive is recommended, but I didn't have a four-wheel drive. It was spring. I was like, it's okay. I don't see too much snow on the ground. I should be fine getting to Thompson. Little did I know, I should have known better, you would say. Because when I left Winnipeg, everything was all nice and good and visibility was no problem. There was no storm. It was technically spring in Winnipeg. But 3 hours into my drive, I quickly realized that I had underestimated the weather of my destination, which was going to be Thompson. And it was really, really bad. This was also the time when COVID was also new. It was because COVID had been announced in the year 2000. And when was it announced? 2020 March. And so it was around April when I was leaving. So people were still very skeptical about COVID, and the weather was also not great. And people had that feeling of fearing, does this person that I'm going to talk to have COVID? If they were, especially if they're not wearing a mask, are they gonna cause me to have COVID? So it was a very interesting time. So I get on my drive. I am heading out to Thompson. It's a lot of highway. It's all good between Winnipeg and close to Thompson. I had no issue. I drove for close to 5 to 6 hours, no issue at all. Weather was good. But then as I was approaching, I was 2 hours into getting into Thompson. The road was very slippery, so slippery, so scary. And especially when there are the big tankers and trailers, it was very scary for me. And I was very fearful, and I actually was questioning whether this was a good decision for me to go on such a dangerous journey. So I'm still driving. The snow, the road is so bad. I'm sliding all over the place. I'm almost falling into a ditch. And I say to myself, there's no way I can drive to Thompson in these conditions. It was so bad. And so I stopped my car at the side of the road, and I just started crying. I started crying because I was like, I'm so far out from home. I can't turn back. I can't get to Thompson because it's so slippery. I might get into an accident. I might not arrive at my destination. This is not good. So I'm just in my car, just sitting, and my head is down. I'm crying. I'm questioning my sanity, my decision making. I'm questioning my logic. And then I look behind me, and an SUV has stopped right behind me. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope it's not a carjacker. I hope that these are not criminals. So I look, and a lady comes out from the car, and then she comes to my driver's side and waves for me because she wants to talk to me. So I look at her, and she's like, I noticed you were like looking like you're slipping while you were driving. Is everything okay? And I'm like, no, everything's not okay. I'm terrified. I've never been on this highway. I didn't realize it was this bad. And I'm just going to sit here for as long as I need to, as I gather my thoughts and my courage before I continue. She's like, where are you going? Thank you. Thanks, Awakening Soldier. Thank you for, Canada. Yeah, it's hard, especially when when you're driving solo. It's very scary. But Canada is beautiful, and I saw some of your videos as well out in the wild. You love nature, and I love nature, and that's great. Yeah, so I was driving to Thompson, and this lady comes and she waves at me, and I roll down my window, and she's like, you know what? I work in Thompson, and I am with my daughter, and my daughter is in the back. So you know what? If you're okay, we will drive behind you to make sure that you'll be fine. And then I was like, and then she said, you know what? Actually, she called her daughter, and so to prove to me that they're good people. And then the daughter came out, and then they agreed that she would actually drive my car, that I would be the passenger, and that they would get me to Thompson because they were going there anyway. And in real life, we're taught to be fearful of strangers. We're told, we're very skeptical about people that we don't know. But for some reason, I believed them, and I believed that they had good intentions. So she actually, and she didn't have a mask. And remember, COVID it's kind of, people are scared of COVID. And she said, you know what? I hope you don't mind. I know I don't have a mask, but I'm just going to keep looking forward. I won't look at you. I won't cough in your car. It was so funny. So she drove my car, and the daughter drove behind me, and they made sure that I got to a filling station, and they left, and they gave me their phone numbers, and they said, let us know if you need anything. And you know, to me, that was like, these were angels in disguise. You know, we think of angels with uh, in pictures with wings and with white garments, but real angels come with no wings. Real angels come in disguise. And these two ladies made sure that I got to my destination. They were very kind. They did not expect anything from me. And in fact, when I called them to let them know that I had arrived safely, they were very happy to hear about it. And that was it. They never called me ever again. They never, that was it. It was like a one-time encounter. It's almost like their purpose was to make sure that I got to my destination. So I wanted to share this with you because I've had patients and clients also share with me situations that sound out of this world. You know, I've had patients tell me that they were in a situation where something happened to them that felt out of, almost out of body even. There's one person who shared about a situation where, you know, she if she shared this story to someone else, they would say that she's either bipolar or schizophrenic, because her recollection of that event did not sound normal to other people. But one thing I wanted to share too with you guys is that I believe these stories. When people tell me things that sound supernatural or out of body or out of this world or crazy, I really do believe them, because I know that there is something bigger than ourselves, and we are unique and peculiar species. And some of us maybe have gifts or are able to tap into something that's bigger than ourselves. And so if you're one of those people and you think that you're crazy because of experiences that you have or you've had in your life that don't sound normal to the rest of people around you or family or friends, I just wanted to encourage you that you are normal. There's nothing wrong with you. You might be one of the gifted people who have who are hypersensitive or who are more intuitive, and it's a gift. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's actually a special gift that you have, and there's a reason for it. Maybe you're here to guide some people along the way on this planet to get to their destination, whether physically or mentally or emotionally. I don't know. But I wanted to share that with you guys because, you know, for me, being stranded in the middle of nowhere, where bears and coyotes and wolves and who knows would have been, I would have been their lunch that day. But for just random people to show up at that appointed time, who are going in the same direction, they're not, who are selfless, to me that was, I would call it supernatural, because we're not used to that kind of kindness. I know it exists, but we're not used to it. So I hope this was a good, just an experience to share and to normalize, especially for those of you out there who may have similar or even more what sounds like crazy stories. They're not crazy. We have, some call them guardian angels. Some say, I don't know. There are many terms that people use. But for me, I know for sure that that was not a coincidence. It was not a coincidence. And I don't believe in too many coincidences. And I know that some things happen that are a bit, yes, our Creator started my awakening in 2016, helped me to save my soul. 2 years later, he saved my body. Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Awakened soldier. Thank you. I really do believe. I believe in creator. I believe in, some people don't use the word God. The word God has become like a politically correct term in the day and age that we live in. People don't like to say God. People are more comfortable saying creator. Whether it's creator, whether it's God, whatever the name that you use to describe your experience, it's all valid. It's all valid, and it's all very real. And there is a power that's higher and bigger than you and bigger than me. And sometimes when we feel like we're alone, we really are not. And sometimes, yes, the divine one or creator, yeah, so we're not alone, guys. And so you are not crazy. If you have experienced things that other people don't experience, or I've heard people sometimes tell me that they've had downloads, almost like a computer, like they're trying to figure out a problem, and they just find that they're getting a download of information on how to solve something that's very complicated. So these are things that I guess I just wanted to share with you guys, because it's not spoken about in many settings, and many people are scared of sharing these things because they don't want to feel judged. They don't want to be called crazy, schizophrenic. I don't think that you're crazy. I don't think that it's a mental health condition. As a counselor, I don't think that it's a mental health condition. I know some cases may be chemical imbalances, hallucinations, maybe sometimes because of maybe genetics or chemical substances or drugs. I know that can be possible, but I also know that there are situations that people experience that are not drug-induced, that are more on the spiritual side. I came across something somebody wrote. It said something like, are we spiritual beings experiencing a human experience, or are we human beings experiencing a spiritual experience? I don't know. What do you think? Drop a comment and let me know. So I'm going to keep this short. I just wanted to come on here and just validate for anybody out there who's listening live or who's going to listen later, and you've had those kinds of spiritual awakenings or spiritual experiences. I want to validate to you today and let you know that, you know what, there's something special that you're experiencing, and maybe tap into that. Don't ignore it. Tap into that, nurture it, and you'll be able to know what your purpose is. So thank you for your time. Thank you for the comments. I wish you a lovely day, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.